So we are down here, Long Beach Grand Prix Formula Drift. We've got the MX5 down here. My hot pit car, 2017 Formula Drift car. And we're actually inside the Long Beach Arena. Concerts, festivals, I've been down here for different things. And today we've actually got the race cars in here. So it's pretty cool to be part of the Long Beach Grand Prix. Be down here with all the other invited Super Drift drivers and be inside the arena. It's just a very neat effect, and it's neat to be part of the show. And so basically what's going on is they invite 8 Formula Drift drivers down to the Long Beach Grand Prix, and we put on a demonstration event, kind of a mock competition. We get trophies, there's prize money, so it's battle out there, but it's not part of the Formula Drift series, so there's no points at stake. So a couple of the drivers, I think, have brought in their backup cars, just like myself, or maybe testing new vehicles. Jonathan Cash brought his new Cadillac, which I think is really cool. Forrest Wang. Thorns down here, his new build. And then Stuckey brought his new build down as well, along with Rome. So it's actually a really kind of a really good event. Quite a few new cars, fresh to this year, and a couple old cars or backup cars, depending on what people brought down. And very unique venue. I like how Cash has got his exhaust exiting out of his carbon Kevlar deck lid. You always see neat things in Formula Drift. So out here at Long Beach with the MX5, since it's our hot pit car, we've had to make a couple changes to the setup to get it redialed in for Formula Drift competition. It's different tire compounds, a little bit of a different track format, driving style. So we're dialing the car back into Formula D specs. And Formula Drift also has a specific lighting setup that is used in competition. And so it's basically a load-sensitive light. And as we accelerate, it goes from green to blue, kind of showing acceleration, and then under deceleration, back down blue, green, yellow, red. And as you get harder on the brakes, or you're exceeding what Formula Drift likes to see as far as a slowing down situation, it'll light up red. So it kind of gives the judges knowledge on how the driver is handling the car. And that can have a lot to do with the car's setup as well. If the car's set up good, then it should be handling nice and smooth. And I think the team was snacking, but of course we snack on Doritos because we're Dorito powered. So we've been having some fun this weekend because it's just not as stressful as the general Formula Drift full competition weekends. A lot of similar layout on this car to our Formula Drift RX-8. Same thing, rear mount radiator. You can actually see the water pump, so electric Mazier water pump. Our fuel cell's mounted right above the subframe with the Winter's quick change just below, trying to keep that weight over the rear axles. But with this car, it's a lot shorter wheelbase, so it transitions faster. And we have an issue where the back tire smoke actually comes into the cabin because the tires are so close to the driver cabin. So we actually have a little bit of a firewall or a panel, same material we use for our front window, to basically create a division that's not super visible to the crowd, but helps create the low pressure point behind the driver cab, so the smoke and air has a tendency to swirl back here versus in the cabin. And although I did love running it as a convertible, having the false roof right here also helps with that effect. And then if you're wondering why we have holes in the front window, it's the same thing. We're trying to get air into the cabin so we can create high pressure in the cabin and low pressure behind the driver cabin, so I can actually see where I'm going. In Formula Drift, we can't run the full upright wing. It's part of the rules. So we've just got the kicker on there. And similarly built, this car is a Wisefab in the back, Winter's quick change, and we've got quite a bit of adjustability with the 5-link. It is built off a NC chassis, so same as Mad Mike's car overseas. Both of these, what look like ND MX5s, were built actually in 2014-15, so it was just prior to the ND being released. And so in both cases, with myself and Mike, Mazda helped us rebody NC MX5s into ND MX5s. A lot similar to how BMWs or S chassis or different cars get nose lifts or body kit lifts. So it's kind of why you have such a good view of the front end, and why we're able to run WiseFab is we basically cut the nose off, mounted all fresh bodywork, and the NC MX5 and the RX-8 share subframe mounting pickup points. So it helped the chassis development of the car a lot, and it's one of the reasons I like running the MX5 alongside the RX-8, is it's basically a shorter chassis version of the RX-8. So a little faster to respond, a little quicker from point A to point B, faster transitions, but the suspension dynamic and the car handling actually is very similar to what the RX-8 is. It's just a different version of it. It'd be amazing if Mazda had have actually built an in-between version, like the RX-7 size with this suspension. You know, fingers crossed that maybe Mazda will continue to push the development of the sports cars and rotary cars, and maybe in the near future we'll see something that's in between the size of the MX-5 and the RX-8, because I think that'd be a really good drift chassis, depending on what Mazda puts out, hopefully in the near future, maybe like an RX-9 or something like that. But for right now, we got MX-5s, and we got the RX-8, and we are building an FD3S for competition, but we just haven't really brought it to the channel yet, and we're still working on the chassis itself and some of that. So we'll talk about that project a lot more soon. You see the interior is a little bit more tightly compact compared to the RX-8. NASCAR X-Bar on the driver's side to give me a little more elbow room. Similar lay-down e-brake, HGT sequential. So similar setup, but again, just a smaller interior. All right, so we're getting ready very soon. We're gonna roll out from the arena and go make some laps on the Formula Drift course here in downtown Long Beach. Appreciate everybody enjoying what we're doing. Very similar engine setup to the RX-8. We're just gonna go rip it up, have some fun, super drift demo. Thanks for watching, KMR. Make sure to follow, check out the merch. Let us know what you wanna see. That's a wrap.